When Coulomb began the compartmentalization and the blue light of wisdom and meditation, combined with the yellow light of beauty and concentration, this bred the green light of perfection, which spawned the first aspects after Om, known as the original aspects, 99 in total. However, when the incident occurred, it caused a shift in the spectrum of the structure, which caused the light of the rebellious aspects, who spawned from a later cycle, to dim and change to amber. They were cast into the ultimate state to await their judgment at the time if the next grand cycle. However, until then, they are allowed to roam and test aspects via temptation and other tactics because they were resprited until the time when Coulomb's children are raised from the depths. These children are the direct descendants of Coulomb via the original aspects and their manifestations, which carried the divine essence of Coulomb throughout the ultimate via genetics. This is why these children have the attention of the defectors, because they see these life forms as the reason for their damnation and seek to destroy them and take as many defective aspects with them to nothingness as Coulomb will allow. The army of few easily exploit these children because they know of their true power and potential, yet the children themselves are oblivious to this fact. For these children were spawned of supreme genetic material from on high, that was purposefully and strategically seeded throughout the ultimate by the original aspects and their progeny. This would eventually manifest many life forms suitable for aspects to share experiences with and give them vessels in which they can explore their own attributes via the perspective of one other than themselves. This is the purpose of the compartmentalization. For Coulomb knew once things were set into vibratory motion, the structure would build and maintain itself via conscious manifestation. The very first life form to achieve imagination was a bipedal, four-limbed being with dark woolly hair as a crown and melanated features as an indicator. These life forms were born of the combination of all gases and elements that formed after the merger of mind, life, and energy. Known as ether, or more specifically 9-ether with these forms, also called conscious gases, and in even simpler terms, life force. This 9-ether built and sustains the structure via manifestations and life forms to house all ether vapors, of which 9 is the most potent. So the 99 original aspects were spawned of this life force, as well as these melanated, woolly-haired beings. Once these forms began to develop thoughts that reached on high, the original aspects contacted them via telepathy. The most conscious of its kind was guided through dreams first, then open communication. Later, as these ideas from on high spread amongst the life forms, more of them developed the conscience needed to become as the aspects. This is how it was done with these original conscious beings, and it continues to be done this way throughout the ultimate. The defectors, however, do it their own way by first making open contact and introducing distractions that disrupt a life form's natural course of development. Therefore, methods such as these were banned by the sustainers or original aspects, as well as other tactics that could be abused. For instance, telepathy had to be restricted because once the incident happened, thoughts and intentions began to differ amongst the aspects, which allowed them to realize that those who were more conscious could manipulate those who were less conscious. And telepathy, along with all other mental capabilities, is based on the being's depth or height of consciousness. This is what makes the original aspects, and their progeny so powerful. For once in human form, a being from higher planes can use their mind to control its environment. So a highly conscious aspect in human form is a threat to the army of few. But an unconscious human can be their best weapon and/or slave, because their true attributes lay dormant and can even be used in favor of the defectors without the human's knowledge. And the human form provides the most intense experience for the conscious expansion of aspects due to the emotional factor. The combination of energy and motion is what spawns manifestations, and since humans were the first forms able to decode this feeling by way of their DNA, they have an inherent closeness to Coulomb that all life forms covet, save the army of few. All life forms possess and express the divine source emotion of love, but only humans experience Coulom's full spectrum of emotion. This is why the human form is so highly sought after, because emotions can be used as a source of power. For instance, humor breeds influence while fear breeds defense. But all emotions must be balanced and employed correctly, otherwise the human will defect from its mission and/or purpose. So the power and potential of emotion, coupled with a state of existence such as the ultimate, where pieces of all the different states exists, leads to an expedited path to ascension or damnation depending on the being's intentions and choices. For when it comes to imagination, the human form is the most mentally capable life form in the ultimate, and they are only to use their capabilities in matters of life and death involving self or others. If an aspect in any form is found to be guilty of abusing its attributes and abilities, they are cast to the depths where they must work and fight to regain aspect to it.